Goku-san DBC here, and welcome back for a special countdown list. We are looking at, in my personal opinion, 5 criminally underrated Wii games, original Nintendo Wii games. One honorable mention, but yeah, this is top 5 in my opinion of Wii games I have personally played. Honorable mention goes to more of a compilation of sorts, which is why it just gets. But it's crazy, not more people have actually picked up, as it is relatively very affordable, and you get a excellent collection of Kina Fighter games. I mean, you get Kina Fighters 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. Plus, you can play it with the standard move control or like the regular style controller from the Wii, which is the better way to play, of course. But, I mean, you get the entire Orochi saga in one set and at a very affordable price range. If you are a longtime SNK fan or a fan of 2D fighters, frankly, I do consider this a must-play to any SNK fans out there that have a Wii. Or anybody who is curious about trying out campfires. This is a good way to play it for an affordable price. Keep in mind, backwards compatible with Wii U as well. With that said, coming in at number 5, I think of criminally underrated, has to go to Knight's Journey of Dreams, which is basically a remaster of the original classic Nights in the Dreams for the Sega Saturn. And yeah, you can actually do up to 2 people, believe it or not, in this, which is one of the cool elements about it. But if you've never actually played the original Nights in the Dreams on the Sega Saturn, which I'd say most people have not, this is a great way, and the fact you can also get this remaster for a very affordable price, because when I picked it up, I believe I paid some like $3 for this. That's it. You can find this easily still for probably $10 or less. Very affordable, very good, very fun experience if you are a fan of Sega as a publisher, or if you are a fan of Sonic, you really need to give Knight's Journey of Dreams a shot. But for me, it comes at number 5. Coming at number 4 is a very unique fighting game most people don't even know about. It's a 3D fighter that takes place in the realm of Castlevania. Now, a couple of the people that originally, to my knowledge, that were involved in making of this, there were a couple of people that originally worked and were involved in some of the later Bloody Roar games. Now, that's not saying a huge amount. Great, I know. One great thing is a 2-player game. And as you see, yeah, that's originally what I paid for this. I paid $5 for this game. But, yeah. Also, you can play, as you see, nunchucks and stuff, but you can also even play with the GameCube controller, which is, frankly, the way I recommend playing this game, with a GameCube compatible controller, which you can specifically use easy enough if you have like an old model Wii, which is backwards compatible with GameCube. That's a good thing. But yeah, and your final boss is of course Dracula. But you can also play with many different characters throughout the series, specifically of course Alucard being the biggie. But if you are a longtime fan of Castlevania, someone who's been a fan for quite a few years, like myself, I will say this is a pretty cool little unknown, like hidden gem fighting game in my opinion. It's very unique and different. If you're curious actually how the gameplay looks, a while back Maximilian Dude did a record playthrough of it, because he only discovered it a few years back. But still, you can also get this pretty affordable. Coming in at number 3, in my opinion, of criminally underrated, somewhat hidden gem games, it has to go to Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. This game is superb and great, and more people need to play it. It is arguably, probably, the least well-known, I would say, out of all the crossover games. There's quite a few people know about the existence of, obviously, Capcom vs. SNK, as well as, of course, Marvel vs. Capcom series. But Tatsunoko versus Capcom was a little different. And the fact you actually used Mega Man Legends version Mega Man as well as Roll. Though you still had classics like Zero, but you also even had characters in this like Alex from Street Fighter 3, which is crazy. And some of the bonkers like stuff in here from Tatsunoko, which is definitely quite interesting, and the animation style is definitely cool. It's a little bit different than your traditional cel-shaded art style. How you know also this was a long time ago is the original X-Play logo right there. With that said, yeah, for me, I highly recommend this. This is, to my opinion, the biggest hidden gem on the original Nintendo Wii. If you've never played Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, serious, give this game a shot. Is again a little pricier as time has progressed because of its rarity and it's never received a re-release, which is going to lead to it, much like other crossover games and prices. If you can find a good price for it, pick this game up seriously. It is a great fighter from Capcom. Coming in at number 2 of hidden gems, arguably in my opinion, maybe at least from my own personal experience, so I've only experienced like 4 horror games on the Wii. For me, this is arguably the single best horror game experience on the Wii, bar none, at least my personal experience. Though keep in mind, I am also very biased because Silent Hill is basically neck and neck with Resident Evil as my favorite horror franchise of all time. With that said, Shattered Memories is also arguably in my top 5 favorite Silent Hill games ever. If you've never played Shattered Memories, you should really give this game a shot. In all honesty, it is actually fun and unique. I'm not the biggest fan though of the whole running mechanic from the cold ads. You can't really defend yourself, which kind of sucks, in all honesty. It's sort of a reimagining of sorts of the original Silent Hill 1, but it's unique, and it really helps make itself distinctive from other games. Now, it is getting, in my opinion, a little pricey for being a original Wii game, though the PSP and PS2 versions are even crazier in the price range. So if you can get this for a good shot, I highly recommend it. It actually, I think, then uses nunchucks and stuff pretty decently, surprisingly, in the game. For me, coming at number 1, hidden gem, criminally underrated game that is, I think, one of the most overhated games of all time that does not deserve the hate it gets. Yes, I'm going to say it. For me, coming at number 1 of original Wii games, I think it gets way more hate than it deserves. Unrightfully, in my opinion. Now, keep in mind, my first experience was Super Metroid, like many people. And yes, I do like Metroid Prime, 1 through 3. But for me, Metroid Other M, I actually dug the combat, honestly, in the game. Admittedly, maybe I am a little biased because Team Ninja is involved, but that's another reason. I actually had confidence in the gameplay aspect of this. Even, you can say whatever you want about the story overall, Samus in it, but for me, it is still fun. I actually really enjoyed it, and my playstyle personally with it, I used it more as a controller than the other way. But for me, this game gets way more hate than it deserves, and I'm willing to die on this hill defending Metroid Other M as one of the easily most underrated games of the 2000s. It does not deserve the hate it gets. I get why some of the super long time fans of Metroid maybe hate it, but for me, I found it refreshing, and like I said, the combat is the number 1 reason I will defend this game to my dying breath. But with that said, what's your opinion? What, in your view, is the most underrated or hidden gem game on the original Nintendo Wii? Also, music in the background is Pleasure Quarter from Gravity Rush. Hopefully enjoyed. With that said, I'll see y'all again soon enough. Stay safe out there.